I should have never gotten married. I needed a lot of healing, and I own that. But I also still have to balance the fact when I'm trying to share with you what happened in this marriage that he ended up taking his life, which is horrible. And, when I got the phone call that day, I don't think I'm going to go into all the details, but when I got the phone call that day, I just remember dropping to the ground. And I couldn't believe it. When you hear something like, you just can't believe it. You're like, no, no, that didn't happen. No, go make sure that this is what's going on, and it was just, I was in shock for sure. And I remember dropping down to the ground in the grass out here where I live. And the only thing I could think of were my children, and that I needed to go tell my children. And how was I going to go tell my children? Because during that time when he did this, we were all still very broken because of coming out of that marriage, all those years of a dysfunctional marriage and so much hurt and pain in the family, that when we divorced, there was just still more of it. I don't think that the divorce necessarily caused most of the pain. I really think the unhealthy marriage and family life is what caused my children the most pain. And when he took his life, it just added on to everything. I mean, we loved them, and my children have never had the opportunity to work on their relationship with their dad. And the woulda, coulda, shouldas are all there, you guys. They're all there. So bear with me. I'm going to read some because this is such a delicate topic, and I want to do this with honor and grace, but also be transparent and honest. So, like I said, this is one of the hardest parts of my story to share, and I need to do it with respect. Being married to someone who struggled with mental health challenges that expressed through anger and control made for a very difficult and painful relationship. And all along, I didn't have the recipe to know like what it takes to make a good marriage. I didn't. Most of us don't, but I really didn't because of what I went through. His parents were still married, and I would hope, that maybe that would help with our marriage because he didn't come from a broken home, but he came still from a lot of brokenness in his own life. So we didn't really know what to do. I'll just say that. Neither of us knew what to do. And I tried a lot of different things. I mean, I would go through seasons of just not saying much, letting him lead and direct and do all these things in the family, but I would just see so much pain and destruction from that. And then I would try things like speaking up, when I needed to for the kids' sakes, and that didn't work. And then I remember he and I speaking and him asking me, come to me privately if you don't agree with something and we'll work it out in private. I thought, that's a great idea. So when things would happen in the family, I would try that approach.